All right, let's continue on with the lesson here. And now let's go for the example. What happens if I know 2 points? Okay, and I know that I have an inverse variation. Well, both of those points make my inverse variation true. Okay, so let's take a look at them. I got point number 1, and let's call that x1, comma, y1. And I got point number 2. And obviously, let's call that x2, comma, y2. So there's my 2 points. I know they're both part of an inverse variation, and they both make it true. Okay, so I know that x1 times y1 is equal to that constant for this variation, k. I also know that x2 times y2 is equal to that same constant, k. And now once I have 2 things that are equal to each other, I can just set them. x1 times y1 is equal to x2 times y2. Very useful thing to have happen when you're doing inverse variations. This is so special. This whole thing and this formula right here is called the product rule of inverse variations. Okay? And then there's a second part. There's a second way to look at the inverse variation product rule. I can start with the product rule. x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2. Now I'm going to divide both sides by y1. That leaves me with x1 on this side, and I get x2 times y2 all over y1 on this side. Now I'm going to divide by x2 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by x2 and x2. And what does that leave me with? x1 over x2. The x2's cancel out, and I've got y2 over y1. And that is the proportion for the product rule. So it's the same thing as the product rule, it's just rearranged so that you have a proportion instead of the actual multiplication.